Are you prepared? A few years ago, I was in a building fire when I lived in Washington, D.C. I lived on the 7th floor, and what had happened is on the 6th floor, an electrical fire broke out. And I remember it happening very quickly. Suddenly, my heart began to pound. I could hear the fire engines roaring up the street. I knew something was wrong. Smoke began to enter my apartment unit. I didn't really know what to do. I wish I would have known about this product, the SkySaver. Check it out at skysaver.com, your personal life-saving repelling device. In that situation, in the event of a building fire like I was in, or an act of terrorism, or any other emergency, all I would have had to do at that given point in time is click, hook, and exit, and repel my way to the ground to safety. Holds up to 300 pounds, repels up to 260 feet, tested to the highest quality standards. That's a SkySaver at skysaver.com. Check it out today, your personal life-saving backpack. Click the link below right now. Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're tuning into AMTV, Alternative Media Television. It is of course Monday, August 10th, 2015, and CNN goes on the rag over the weekend. After Megyn Kelly asked Donald Trump really unfair questions at the first GOP debate regarding what he's made comments about other women, people like Rosie O'Donnell, calling her things like, I'm paraphrasing a little bit, a fat pig.
You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account
only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't.
Disgusting, etc., etc. So, of course, Megyn Kelly, who most of America doesn't even know, but knows now, in fact, she should thank Trump for making her even more famous, launches that first question, that very sexist question, coming from allegedly a conservative news company like Fox. Of course, we know Fox and CNN, which is on the rag, we know they're one of the same because they represent the same corporate interests, Again, the right and left paradigm really just the same, forming the Illuminati all-seeing eye that makes up corporate America today, that owns the politicians and people like Barack Obama. Now, Donald Trump, really not a part of the establishment, an elitist, a billionaire who says he's worth $10 billion, but really not a part of this program. It's one of the reasons the GOP wants to get rid of him. It's why they're asking people like Megyn Kelly to shoot below the waist, to try to hit Donald Trump right in the balls.
She gets out and she starts asking me all sorts of ridiculous questions. And, you know, you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes. Blood coming out of her wherever, but she was, in my opinion, she was off base.
Allegedly, they say that he was referring to Megyn Kelly with blood coming out of her eyes and ears and wherever, that somehow that inferred he meant she was on the rag too, that she was bleeding out of her bodily orifice in addition to her eyes and ears. Even though if you actually listen to the audio tape, Donald Trump made the same comment about Chris Wallace, and he didn't mean it the way CNN is spinning it.
Believe me, there's a big difference between Mike Wallace and Chris Wallace, because I watched him last night, you know, blood pouring out of his eyes too. And I'm saying to myself, what am I doing? I'm here in front of all these people. I'm doing Fox a favor by doing this show. And what am I doing? And then they, come out with these vicious questions.
You see, this is what the mainstream media does. This is what Donald Trump is complaining about. There was a couple of ladies, African-American ladies, they called themselves on YouTube the Viewer's View, that attacked Megyn Kelly over the week and said, no, you didn't, girl. No, you didn't. Don't go after our boy Donald Trump. No, you didn't. And it's been viral on the internet. In fact, Drudge picked it up because it's interesting.
You don't need to host another debate. No. You don't come for Donald like that. Right. He ain't done nothing to you. Y'all always breaking up his past. Yeah. He don't do nothing to nobody unless you try to do something to him. That's how he Once you do something to him, he go ahead on to do something to you. Yeah.
I think Americans think it's interesting because the ladies are African American, and historically African Americans are not Republican, and you wouldn't think that they would support Donald Trump, but they do. They actually believe in making America great again. They believe in securing the borders.
It was like a breath of fresh air. It's like now we have a leader. We have someone that can lead us, secure that border, bring jobs back to America, so people can not only survive, but they can also thrive in this country. That's what we need. We need a leader, honey. And we see that. We know that.
And they weren't too happy with Megyn Kelly's low blow below the belt, trying to hit Donald Trump, again, right between the balls. Is it racist to find it amusing when other races make fools of themselves? Again, if these two ladies were white, would this be picked up by Drudge Report? Would this be picked up by any other news outlet? Would the mainstream media find this interesting? So again, CNN on the rag over the weekend, which brings up another issue itself. I mean, why is it sexist, even if Trump did mean that, which he didn't? It was taken out of context and then propelled by the mainstream media to try to destroy him, to, again, character assassinate him. What if he did mean that Megyn Kelly potentially was on the rag? How is that sexist? Men can also be on the rag. You know, I find that offensive and sexist. I have hormones as a man. I have times of the month when I'm not feeling as well, where my emotions might be running high. That's scientifically proven. Isn't it sexist to think that only women are on the rag? Men are actually also on the rag. Why do we always have to be so politically correct? Why do we have to pretend things are a certain way when they're not? For example, women are just as good as men. In fact, women have unique talents that men don't have. Men have unique talents that women don't have. I mean, it's no surprise that men, on the whole, are physically more stronger because we have more testosterone. That's just biological. That's built into our DNA, our chromosome situation. That's just built into us. Women, I think, can withstand greater pain. I mean, have you ever seen a woman go through childbirth? Oh my freaking God. Talk about having a much higher pain threshold than a man. Or political correctness around sports, for example. It's no surprise, and it's no secret that African Americans are just flat out better athletes than white guys. I mean, take a look at any basketball court or any baseball field, and you'll come to the truth and the realization that African Americans are just flat out better athletes. Again, that's not racist. That's not politically incorrect. It's just the truth. Look for yourself. See with your own eyes. Again, America takes so much interest on looking at other people like these two African-American ladies, pitching Trump, huge Trump supporters. Wouldn't be interested if they weren't African-American, but are because they're African-American and they're now pro-Republican and they're pro-Trump. And so we find that interesting. You know, it's kind of like when someone says, you know, I'm not racist, but. I always think that's funny. I'm not a racist, but. And then they lower their voice and they whisper. It's like, well, yeah, that's kind of like inherently racist in and of itself. But you see, again, this is the job of the mainstream media. It's one of the reasons I personally like Trump, because he is not a part of this establishment. He's not a part of this master plan. The GOP doesn't want this guy. You know, the secrets and the whispers behind closed doors, they're trying to get rid of Trump. They're trying to destroy Trump. It's exactly why the mainstream media, whether or not it's CNN or it's Megyn Kelly and hormones and Fox News, they're all trying to destroy him because he's an outsider. But just like Warren Buffett said today on CNBC, Trump has his own money. He's self-financed. So things probably won't change anytime soon. He's, in fact, more popular post this debate than he was prior to it. Fox News should probably cut him a check because the ratings were sky high, larger, and people were more interested in this first political GOP debate than they have been in ages, in years. Again, Megyn Kelly should also cut Donald Trump a check because he's making her more famous. No one gives a shit about Megyn Kelly, but they do now because of the sexist comment about her allegedly being on the rag. Well, I don't think Megyn Kelly's on the rag, but I do think CNN is on the rag. I do think Fox News is on the rag. I think America is bleeding from every bodily orifice. It's about time it's fixed by political incorrectness. It's about time it's fixed by someone like Donald Trump, like these African American ladies are promoting via The Viewer's View on their YouTube channel. And we're seeing this fervor in America, this support for the politically incorrect. A politician who tells it like it is, that tells us things like, yeah, Washington's bought and paid for. He's donated to Democrats and Republicans. And guess what? Money talks. The politicians dance after he donates his millions. And it's exactly how the system works. And there's something wrong with that. It's about time something changes. It's about time we call a duck a friggin' duck. It's why Trump's popularity is sky high. It's why, again, there's this American fervor to back him. There's all this interest. It's almost kind of like watching reality TV. It also goes to show you how screwed America really is. You know, Trump was able to ride this vacuum of this political system because the country has deteriorated to such a horrible state during the presidency of Barack Obama that America's just begging for anything else, just begging for the polar opposite, begging for a different type of president, a different type of governance. The pendulum is now swinging from the politically correct, the PC bullshit, cut your dick off society to the politically incorrect CNN might be, or Megyn Kelly or Fox News might be on the rack. It's exactly why, again, there's this fervor, there's this passion for Trump in 2016 and his campaign. I'm Christopher Green. Get this video out everywhere, make it viral, hard hitting it in your face, and click the link below to support our sponsor.